Okay, so this is a straight up experimental Saturday, and I have nothing to do with this whatsoever. And I would recommend parental discretion should be advised. Anybody under the age of 38 should just turn this thing off. You should not listen to this. But the man, he comes up to me and he says, Dog, he says, I'm getting sick of this. I'm going to take a piss. It seems like my dick is shrinking. Every year that goes by, it seems like. And I said, ho, no, I'm not. And he said, no, man, it's getting ridiculous. He says, the man said, I'm going to have to start taking Viagra just so I have, can pop a boner every once in a while. My penis it's like receding inside of itself. And I looked at him and I said, this is just natural. You're 55 years old. You don't seem to be having too much sex. You have some every once in a while, and that's when you use your Viagra. And it says, you told me everything works out pretty good when in those rarefied instances. And the man says, yeah, but, when you go to scratch yourself, you're like, holy shit, where's my penis? I've got a bump here. It's not good. I'm wanting to have, the old days when I had something flopping around down there. And I said, well, that's just it. With less usage, it's just a natural inclination because the thing is, it was just like dangling there. It could get caught on something. I'm talking back in the old times, back in the caveman days when you got to be old. In those days when you're like 35, 36, but nowadays it's like, 55, 65, you start to get a little on the old side. Your penis could get caught on a briar or something. It could get, some animal could get a hold of it. So it would naturally shrink and just become almost like a nubule. It would rescind and become like a nubule so it couldn't get caught. And the interesting thing is, transversely, your testicles would become larger and hang lower and lower because way back in the old days, now forgive me for saying that, it's very disgusting, but in the olden times, in the caveman days, eventually, when there was no use, the penis had shrunk and it was like a nubule against your skin, and your testicles were big, giant, flopping. Well, if they got into a drought or they got some kind of a, whatever you call it, when there's not a lot of food, and everybody's kind of like starving, they could lop off the old guy's testicles and make mountain oysters, and it was a delicacy. It would feed the whole tribe because they were so rich in proteins and antioxidants. Sometimes if an old guy got lost, an old caveman got lost, and he's like, finally, he's drinking from a creek and everything. He's trying to eat some ants and bird droppings. He finally says, damn, I'm going to cut my testicles off. I'm going to have a big, giant meal. I'll eat for like 4 or 5 days, mountain oysters. But that was why. So I just was trying to explain it to the man. The man was like, he was shaking his head. He was dumbfounded. He had this look on his face, like I don't know if he was thinking about his penis not really becoming a penis anymore, but becoming like a bump, or what it would be like to take a rock and try to sever your own testicles and then eat them, without even probably cook the benefit of an open flame to help cook them. He was probably just thinking in his mind. But that made this an experimental Saturday, and it was like I said, it was like a rated R plus or something. But that's really evolutionary. If you can look it up or Google it and read about it, that is all exactly verbatim. It's actually the truth. And I'm thinking about writing into Joe Rogan, so maybe he would put me on and I could, or whatever you say, let everyone hear about this history. To what benefit, I have no conception. Maybe my own notoriety. Maybe that would be something. I'd be building my brand out that way. But, this is kind of just a weak experimental Saturday, and it's kind of disgusting and gross, and I don't think anybody wanted to listen to it. But there you go. What are you going to do? That's 4 minutes of your life you're never getting back.